Hi guys, today I would like to talk to you about some pink perfumes that smell like roses and peonies. The inspiration for this video is Delina La Rosée. So I would like to talk to you about this fragrance and some of the fragrances that seem like sisters and cousins. So if we could talk about Delina La Rosée, which is a bit different than the original. What I like about it is that it's a very fresh bouquet of peonies with rose. It's very musky, and there are also some watery notes that give it a fresh, slightly bit of aquatic nuance. It is very soft, sort of elevating. Despite the watery notes, it feels slightly a bit powdery as well. I think it's less sharp and less juicy than the original. That's why I like it better. Yeah, but you still get the lychee here and some kind of juiciness, but it's not, it is very, very well refined with all of the other notes. The next fragrance I would like to discuss is Eladaria by Creed, which on my opinion is a slightly similar yet different kind of a fragrance. So you still have peonies and roses. It opens up with quite a punchy, fresh opening of the mandarin and pink pepper. So you get these very citrusy aspects, and then as the fragrance changes, you get more of a musky, slightly a bit powdery aspect. As the fragrance develops, you get more woody notes, it becomes muskier, slightly a bit more powdery. So the if in comparison this doesn't have any watery notes, it's not as juicy and fruity as Delina La Rosée. So just this combination of citruses, peonies, musky, powdery aspects, it's quite lovely. One of my friends is very sensitive to amberwood components. According to her, it's quite heavy on amber woods. So if you are sensitive to that, maybe this can be challenging to you. Personally, I'm not sensitive to that component, so I can't comment on this. To me, it is just slightly powdery, musky peony scent that is quite lovely. As we continue, I would like to discuss Lovers in Pink by Cherigan. So, this does have slight Baccarat Rouge vibe to it, but it opens up with fresh citruses and green cassis. So it's very punchy, citrusy, green, fresh opening. It feels as though it's quite watery, I think there was no watery notes to it. And then a huge bouquet of flowers. And then in the base we have cedar, musk, and I would say that nevertheless, at least on my skin, even to the dry down, I get still the citruses and cassis together with bouquet of flowers and woods. They are still there. You know, sometimes in fragrances the citruses are in the opening and they don't last. Personally, to me, the citrusy components in this fragrance do last throughout the wear. So it is very fresh. It is very pink. smelling fragrance. As we continue, I would like to discuss Rose de Grasse by Aerin, which is still in the same ballpark as the others, though it is quite more towards the aquatic. So here we have a bouquet of roses together with ambrette and musk. It is very, very musky and watery rose. There is no peony, I believe, but it is very, to me it feels like those roses are drenched in water. It dries down to very musky, slightly aquatic bouquet of roses. So I love it. I do love it. I wear it occasionally. I love the white bottle. It is so lovely. I mean, depends on how do you feel about roses, but if you don't shy away from roses, I would recommend trying it and let me know what you think. This is a new find for me. So recently I added to my collection fragrance, which I might butcher. It's Rose de Soie, or please correct me if I'm wrong because I don't know how it's pronounced, but it's by brand Balmain. My God, I blind bought this fragrance. So I looked up the notes. I saw that it's compared to like Delina vibe. So I knew that it's most probably is going to be some pink floral fragrance. Therefore, I didn't have high expectations of it, but my God, I love it. Like, so it is a very musky floral. The reason I love this fragrance, so it is a bouquet of roses together with orange blossom. It is very luscious bouquet. As the fragrance develops, it becomes more muskier and more powdery. There is also not only musk, there's also a tonka bean, which I believe is one of the components that also add up to the sweetness. So it might open quite fresh in the opening, but as it develops, it becomes more powdery and more sweet without becoming gourmand. But if you can imagine such a, my God, so good. I just can't. It just, the combination of orange blossom and rose with all the powdery aspects, it's just divine. Like, I didn't expect to love it as much as I do. So I think that this is going to be denting. It's going to be denting. It's going to be denting. I just know. My God, it's so good. I just can't stop smelling it. Seriously. When I got it and I didn't expect to like it, I just went on spraying the heck out of it. So highly recommend if you like any from, if you like Delina-esque fragrances, but you want something more powdery, more, this is more of a Grace Kelly Delina, you know, this is more sophisticated, more glamorous sister, if we could compare it to. And the bottle, like, I have a, I bought it from hand, so there is a little bit of damage on a sticker, but the bottle, like, look at this. My God, that is just, I love the glass. It's so beautiful. Not only the bottles are so pretty, the scent is just like out of this world. So huge love, huge love for me. And the last but not least, what I want to discuss is Carmina by Creed. The reason why I left it as a last is because it's not as Delina like. Um, it still has rose peony DNA, but you have very prominent cherry and saffron opening in a very start. So it opens up with black cherries and saffron, so it's quite spicy and fruity. But the fruits here, I wouldn't say that they're very juicy. It's just you get this dark, I would say like more of a dark liquor like cherry. And then you get more florals. And as the fragrance develops, you get more of a myrrh and cashmeran and musk. I like that actually as the fragrance develops, it becomes, at least on my skin, it becomes softer, as if in the very beginning, because of the saffron, it's quite punchy. But as the fragrance develops, it becomes softer and rounder. You get more of the florals and cashmere and musk. I actually have a pretty much of a dent for 10 mil, I think, since I've got it. So let me know, have you tried any of these? What are your thoughts on them? Also, maybe you have any recommendations that are quite similar to these, but I haven't mentioned today. So let's discuss that in the comment section below. Bye!